The Book of Enoch is an ancient religious text. It is attributed to Enoch, the great-grandfather of Noah. The book contains mystical experiences. It also includes revelations of a religious nature. The Book of Genesis briefly mentions Enoch. Enoch is noted for a unique distinction. He was taken directly to heaven without experiencing death. This event sets him apart from most biblical figures. His story highlights a special divine favor. The Book of Enoch portrays Enoch as more than just a pious figure. Enoch is depicted as a prophet, selected by angels. He was chosen to receive profound cosmic knowledge. Enoch also received warnings about future events. Enoch experienced visions transporting him to the heavenly realm. During these visions, Enoch witnessed the thrones of God. He was shown the structure of the seven heavens. Enoch also observed the dwellings of the angels within these heavens. The visions included revelations about a future final judgment. These visions provided Enoch with insights into the divine and eschatological events. The Book of Enoch was excluded from the biblical canon. The exclusion was a deliberate decision. The content was considered too advanced for the general public. The book's themes were deemed potentially corrosive to faith. The story of the fallen watchers is a controversial theme in the Book of Enoch. It details the descent of the watchers to earth. This descent occurred against divine orders. The watchers' actions and their consequences form a significant part of the Enochian narrative. The narrative explores themes of disobedience and intervention in human affairs. The story of the fallen watchers is subject to varied interpretations. The watchers were high-ranking angels. These angels rebelled against divine authority. Their rebellion was motivated by a desire to impart forbidden knowledge to humanity. This knowledge included metallurgy, astronomy, warfare techniques, and cosmetics. Azazel led a group known as the Watchers. The Watchers consisted of 200 individuals. They imparted forbidden technology to humanity. The Watchers engaged in romantic relationships with human women. The Nephilim were the offspring of Watchers and human women. This union led to the emergence of a hybrid race. The Nephilim are described as giant beings. They are also referred to as the Fallen Ones. The Nephilim engaged in acts of cannibalism, consuming human flesh. They also consumed human blood, indicating a practice of vampirism. These actions resulted in widespread violence and chaos. The extent of the Nephilim's violence caused creation itself to lament to God. The narrative of the fallen watchers introduces complex theological dilemmas. These dilemmas challenge traditional understandings of free will. The story also raises questions about the extent and limits of divine authority. It further complicates the understanding of celestial beings and their roles. The actions of the Watchers prompt a reevaluation of theological doctrines. The Book of Enoch contains controversial revelations of cosmic knowledge. Enoch received this knowledge from angels during his journeys. These journeys took Enoch to the heavens. The revelations are a significant part of the Book of Enoch. The universe is structured into 7 heavens. Each of the 7 heavens has distinct functions. Various celestial beings reside within these heavens. Understanding the universe involves knowing these heavens and their inhabitants. The book accurately describes the functioning of celestial bodies. Stars are detailed in terms of their energy, generation, and life cycles. The sun's role in providing light and heat is explained. The moon's phases and gravitational effects are discussed. Planetary movements and orbital mechanics are presented with precision. The book reveals the purposes and interactions of these celestial entities. Enoch revealed that time is not uniform throughout the universe. Different regions of the universe experience different types of time. This suggests a relativistic view of time's passage. God exists outside of all temporal measures, transcending these variations. Secret names of God and angels are believed to exist. These names are thought to hold significant power. Knowing these names is believed to grant power over spiritual beings. The power comes from the ability to control or influence these beings. Cosmic knowledge was once deemed dangerous due to its potential to erode the sense of sacred mystery. This knowledge posed a threat to the established authority of religious institutions. It challenged traditional interpretations of the universe and humanity's place within it. The dissemination of such knowledge could undermine faith-based explanations of existence. Consequently, controlling access to and interpretation of cosmic knowledge became a means of maintaining power. The Book of Enoch contains prophecies concerning the end times. These prophecies are characterized by graphic and disturbing imagery. They detail punishments meted out to sinners. The prophecies also describe the fate of the fallen watchers. Certain groups of humans are also subject to these punishments. The book provides a detailed account of these end-time events and consequences. The fallen watchers are subject to severe and permanent punishment. This punishment includes imprisonment in specific locations. These locations are described as special caves deep within the earth. The Nephilim also face similar fates of imprisonment or destruction. The nature of their destruction is described as horrible. Human beings will face judgment for their actions. Those who committed injustices will be judged. Oppressing the poor will result in severe punishment. Ignoring divine warnings will lead to judgment. Every act will be publicly exposed during judgment. The universe will undergo a significant transformation. Stars will gradually lose their brightness over time. Mountains will erode and eventually disappear. The Earth's surface will be completely reshaped. These changes represent a fundamental alteration of the cosmos. Punishments will be executed by angels loyal to God. The methods employed will lack delicacy or humane considerations. This execution will result in widespread destruction. The scale of suffering will be unimaginable. Disseminating horrific descriptions to the public can trigger widespread social panic. Medieval religious leaders understood this potential for mass hysteria. Therefore, access to such descriptions was restricted for the common people. This control aimed to maintain social order and prevent potential chaos. The fear was that unfiltered exposure could destabilize society. The suppression of the Book of Enoch was not a random occurrence. It was a deliberate and systematic effort. This suppression was driven by significant political motivations. Religious reasons also played a crucial role in the systematic suppression. The formalization of the biblical canon involved a process of selecting authoritative texts. Key events in this process were the Council of Nicaea and the Council of Trent. These councils aimed to establish a definitive list of books to be included in the Bible. The selection process was marked by intense debates and discussions. Different factions held varying opinions on the authenticity and importance of specific texts. Ultimately, the councils reached conclusions that shaped the biblical canon as it is known today. The Book of Enoch was excluded from canonical religious texts. Official reasons cited lack of originality and limited acceptance. Influential church leaders also expressed concerns about its content. These factors collectively contributed to its non-canonical status. Prominent church leaders expressed concerns regarding the Book of Enoch. St. Augustine was among those who questioned the book's content. St. Jerome also voiced reservations about the Book of Enoch. Their concerns stemmed from the doctrines presented within the book. These leaders considered some doctrines as potentially heretical. The early church aimed to solidify its position as a stable institution. Establishing authority was crucial for the church's growth and influence. Texts promoting questioning of authority posed a threat to this stability. The church actively worked to control and manage potentially subversive content. This control was essential for maintaining order and consolidating power. The Book of Enoch was effectively suppressed in Western knowledge. This suppression resulted in its virtual disappearance. The book remained largely unknown for approximately 1,500 years. The suppression was notably successful in obscuring its existence. This period of obscurity highlights the effectiveness of the suppression efforts. The Book of Enoch's absence from Western knowledge lasted a millennium and a half. The Book of Enoch is an ancient religious work. It has survived through history in fragmented forms. The most complete version of the Book of Enoch is preserved within Ethiopian Christian traditions. Ethiopian Christian culture played a crucial role in maintaining the integrity of this text. This preservation highlights the importance of cultural and religious contexts in safeguarding ancient texts. The Book of Enoch was largely absent from Western knowledge for centuries. Its rediscovery occurred in the late 18th century. This resurgence was due to the finding of ancient manuscripts. These manuscripts provided access to the text after a long period of obscurity. The rediscovery marked a significant moment in biblical and historical studies. It allowed scholars to reevaluate and analyze the book's content and historical context. Historically, control over knowledge has been a key tool for institutions to exert power. By controlling the information available, institutions can influence public opinion. This influence extends to shaping beliefs, values, and behaviors within a population. Limiting access to knowledge restricts critical thinking and independent decision-making. Thus, knowledge control becomes a mechanism for maintaining social and political dominance. Information asymmetry is a fundamental source of power dynamics. When access to specific information is restricted, it creates an imbalance. The group possessing exclusive knowledge gains a strategic advantage. This advantage translates to control over those lacking the same information. Limited access to information can be a tool for manipulation and influence. Therefore, controlling information flow is a key mechanism for maintaining power. Understanding the universe involves exploring its fundamental nature. It also includes considering concepts like divine will. Another aspect is contemplating what happens after death. These areas represent profound aspects of universal knowledge. Exploring these topics provides insights into existence. The dissemination of knowledge can empower individuals. Increased awareness may lead to critical evaluation of established norms. Common people might begin to question traditional interpretations. This questioning could extend to the official doctrines of religious authorities. Such scrutiny has the potential to challenge long-held beliefs. The widespread availability of information can thus reshape societal perspectives. Monastic libraries were the primary custodians of knowledge during the European Middle Ages. These libraries served as repositories for ancient texts and manuscripts. Access to these important texts was highly restricted. Typically, only approved members of the clergy were permitted to read them. This limited access helped maintain control over the dissemination of knowledge. The texts were often kept under lock and key to prevent unauthorized access. Certain texts were intentionally destroyed due to their heretical nature. The designation of a text as heretical often stemmed from its contradiction of established doctrines. Authorities sought to eliminate these texts to suppress dissenting ideas. The destruction aimed to maintain ideological control and prevent the spread of alternative beliefs. Historically, common people often lacked literacy skills. This widespread illiteracy created a reliance on religious authorities. Religious authorities were the primary interpreters of sacred texts. Thus, common people were dependent on religious figures for understanding religious doctrines. The Book of Enoch was considered dangerous due to its content. It contained advanced cosmic knowledge, which was deemed risky. The book also included disturbing prophecies. These prophecies were a cause for concern. The combination of cosmic knowledge and prophecies made the book a threat. The book explores the core concept of divine authority. It questions the church's position as an intermediary. The church traditionally mediates between God and humanity. The book challenges this established role of mediation. This raises fundamental questions about religious power structures. The Book of Enoch presents a narrative where divine knowledge is accessible to certain humans. This concept challenges the church's traditional stance on exclusive divine revelation. It suggests a broader distribution of spiritual insight beyond established religious institutions. The book implies that God may choose to reveal knowledge directly to individuals. Religious institutions historically sought to maintain control over knowledge. One method of control was the suppression of certain texts. The Book of Enoch is an example of a text that was suppressed. Suppressing such texts allowed institutions to maintain authority. This control ensured the dominance of specific doctrines and interpretations. The dissemination of certain books can introduce alternative perspectives on sin and virtue. Increased availability of such literature may challenge traditional moral frameworks. These alternative interpretations can potentially undermine established religious or ethical doctrines. The core issue is the subversion of conventional understandings of right and wrong. This shift in perspective could lead to a re-evaluation of societal norms and values. The Book of Enoch provides unique insights into cosmic structure. These details often diverge from mainstream religious interpretations. It presents an alternative perspective on the organization of the universe. The text offers specific descriptions of celestial realms and their arrangement. This exploration delves into the realm of spiritual beings. It examines the roles these beings play in governing the universe. The exploration offers insights that may challenge conventional beliefs. It aims to provide a deeper understanding of spiritual entities. The study encourages a re-evaluation of traditional perspectives. The concept of humanity's final destiny explores ultimate outcomes and possibilities. This exploration often involves questions of salvation, concerning the potential for redemption. Judgment is another key aspect, addressing the evaluation of human actions and their consequences. Different perspectives offer varied interpretations of what the future holds for humanity. These perspectives may differ significantly based on philosophical or religious beliefs. Understanding these viewpoints requires examining diverse narratives and belief systems. Dissemination of knowledge can challenge established institutions. Access to information empowers individuals to question authority. If the common people gain knowledge, they may scrutinize the church's role. Increased awareness could lead to questioning of religious doctrines. The church's authority might be undermined by independent thought. This shift could alter traditional power dynamics within society. The suppression of the Book of Enoch illustrates the complex power dynamics within religious contexts. Religious institutions often wield significant influence over doctrine and scripture. This influence can extend to determining which texts are considered canonical or heretical. The suppression of texts like the Book of Enoch demonstrates the control exerted over religious narratives. This control impacts the beliefs and understanding of the faithful. Knowledge is a potent instrument. It can be employed to exert control over individuals or societies. Conversely, knowledge can serve as a means of liberation. The effect of knowledge hinges on its accessibility. Those who possess knowledge hold the power to shape its application. Therefore, knowledge is a double-edged sword, capable of both oppression and empowerment. The suppression of the Book of Enoch has lasting implications. This suppression affects our comprehension of knowledge. It also shapes our understanding of power dynamics. Furthermore, it influences perceptions of institutional control